Welcome to Paddy Power Poker Academy. Some people play poker for social reasons, not gravely concerned with the outcome every time they play. Now, since you have decided to watch these videos, well, you probably want to make money at poker while enjoying the competition. Hey, that's great because playing poker and winning money at the same time is a lot more fun. So let's get started with this video and some basic fundamentals that you're going to need in order to be a winner at online poker. Poker is actually a simple game to learn, but becoming a good poker player requires dedication. You know, poker is not like other games in that there is often more risk involved because poker is played for money, and such is referred to as a betting game rather than just a card game. So most poker games actually share many common things about them, including the ranking of hands. To play any type of poker game, you need to know what beats what. So here's a quick rundown of the ranking of poker hands. By the way, you can review these anytime in the Paddy Power Poker Academy under Poker Hand Rankings. But suffice to know for now, the strength of hands are the same in all poker games, so this is something you really can't afford to be confused about. Here we can start from the lowest to the highest, beginning with high card, one pair, two pair, three of a kind, straight, flush, full house, four of a kind, a straight flush, and a royal flush, which is really just a higher ranked version of a straight flush. Did you notice something about all those hands? Well, they all have 5 cards, and that is the same for any poker game because no matter how many cards you get to choose from, your best hand can only include 5 cards. Now there are other game actions that are pretty much the same with most types of poker, like betting, calling, folding, raising, bluffing, blinds, and antes, etc. And since you will be seeing all of these actions in your very first game, we can go through them right now while reviewing actual game table play. So what are those actions? Making a bet. This indicates you are the first one in the pot or the first one who makes a bet on a given round. If nobody calls you, then the pot is yours. Easy, huh? Well, sometimes it is that easy, but let's not get too excited because most hands you play will require at least some strategic thinking on your part. Calling a bet. If somebody bets or raises, another player has the option to call, meaning without raising or folding, they can simply choose to match the bet by putting the exact same amount in the pot. Folding a bet. A player can always fold when there is a bet put to him and he feels he doesn't want to play or has a weak hand. You can also fold on the first round where you figure your hand is so weak that you don't even want to match the cost of the blinds. Raising or re-raising a bet. Raising usually indicates a bigger bet after an initial bet has been made. This usually means a strong hand, but hey, you never know, it is poker. To win pots in poker, you don't necessarily need a strong hand, but hey, we'll talk about more on that later in the series. Re-raising means yet another player has come into the pot and has raised both the original bettor and the player that raised as well. Wow, this could be an exciting pot. Bluffing. Well, we mentioned bluffing already, but bluffing is a big part of poker, and if done selectively, you can win a pot even though you do not have the strongest hand. That's what bluffing is, making your opponents think you have the strongest hand and forcing them to fold with a bet so that you don't actually have to show your hand. But be careful here, because sometimes you might be bluffing into a better hand. In poker games with blinds, there is normally a small blind and a big blind, and games with antes generally means that every player puts in the same amount on every hand, and in the later stages of a tournament, antes are introduced for all remaining players. The small blind and the big blind are just behind the dealer button, which rotates one position every hand. This way, all players eventually pay the same amount in blinds. In this game of 7-card stud, all players pay antes, and there's also a bring-in, which is another kind of blind, and this is affixed to the lowest card on a deal in 7-card stud. It's just a different way of adding to the minimum pot in order to create action. Think of blinds and antes as force bets that make up a pot before the hand starts. This is the essential part of poker because it means that there's something to fight for in every hand. But listen, if you're ever confused about the antes or blinds in a poker game, just refer to the top left corner in your Paddy Power Poker game table window. The blinds and antes are listed there. Now you know you can learn how to play poker by watching the videos and playing, and in the meantime, we're going to be seeing you at the Paddy Power Poker tables. Take care.